Hello YouTube and welcome back to my Frieren Beyond Journey's End reaction series. Back here again today for some more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I am currently unsure of how many episodes I am going to do. Everybody has told me to do 2. And I'm imagining that's for similar reasons as to last week, where they're going to continue into each other pretty well. As a result, if I finish episode 20 and this is the case, then I may just pop on 21. I've got both downloaded with the caveat, of course, that then I would have to be going 1 a week until the show ends. So we're kind of using up all the excess we have early, and we'll, bear the repercussions of that as we go, I guess. But yeah, as always, I'm open to doing good stopping points. And if this is a better stopping point, then so be it. I've got the day off. I wanted to do some Persona, but we'll see what happens there. Other than that, I think we should just pop into the YouTube comments. I think that's the best way to start. Starting here with a comment from Airwave2K2. Episode 18 contained Chapter 37, First Class Exam, and Chapter 38, Meteoric Iron Bird Stille. Sure, partly chapters flow over in other episodes to have the time limit right. I get what you're saying there. So there is from chapter 38 story in episode 19, you work that out, and then 19 adapts 2 more chapters as well. Gotcha. So that, yeah, they moved around things a little bit to make it work better in the anime, which is good. That's what they should be doing, especially with, again, Frieren and its chapters have been very self-contained, with a few exceptions, this being one of them. You should change your adaptation to adapt to that. That makes sense. In my head canon, Stark is taste testing all the Jumbo Berry specials in town. Sure. What else is he going to be doing? Not much, apparently. Mana detection is a basic but crucial skill for being a mage. However, it seems like not many mages are prioritizing this in the same way that they should. Lavene seems fine, but Kane's not as good, especially with the whole bird dude fiasco, I guess. So there may be characters such as Ere, who may be falling into the same thing, considering strength and size of aura, and then when she's fighting Fern, it's like, well, this isn't making much sense. Also, Fern commenting that Ere is potentially the strongest, maybe that means her aura is the same size as Werbel. Why don't you think that you're the strongest? I thought it was a little bit more of a, hey, you should back yourself type thing. Like, if you don't think that you're the best mage here, then what are you doing here? But there may be more applicable reasons for this, more plot important, less than emotional. We will see in this next episode, I'm guessing. The detail on Lavene's outfit is nice, very frilly, very anime, very anime, let's say that. Apparently other reactors weren't quite picking up on the whole Stille Frieren plan as quickly as I did, but then I double backed and second guessed myself and stuff, so anyway, it's whatever. I feel like this is really nitpicky, like they're using metric system measurements in a fantasy setting. I don't know, man. What do you want them to say? Probably takes you out of it a little bit, especially if maybe you're more used to freedom units, I don't know. And I do understand both sides of, I guess, the lethality of the exam, right? On the one hand, this is pretty, like, barbaric and really Darwinistic and stuff, and in a way that's not really cool. It's very, not modern, let's say. But on the other hand, they are trying to find the best mages. We've seen demons and monsters before. It's not like they're going to mess around. So if we're messing around and making things easy here, does that mean that they're just going to die out there and the first class name kind of dwindles away with it, kind of getting these first class mages that aren't as good as the other first classes? I do not know. We will see who dies and who lives and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely definitely an interesting one for sure. We've got a bunch of translations here. So for the magical beings, we have Stille, meaning silence, resting, not moving. Makes a lot of sense. You have the Geisel bird, hostage, and also similar to the Geisel tormenting tool. I'm going to say that as well. Again, German letter. From the second party, we have Frieren. We know Frieren. Lavone, meaning avalanche. She has ice powers. Kane means jug. So water powers, you would imagine there. That's what they're getting at. In the fourth party, we have Fern, which we know. Ubel, meaning malignancy or maleficent. Evil. It's pretty on the nose one for sure. Land means land in English apparently as well. So I haven't really seen him fight that much. I'm guessing he's like Earthbender type beat, I'm guessing. We have Werbel, meaning twister or swirling. Maybe he's airbender. We have Scharf, meaning sharp and keen. And Ere, meaning honor and glory. I seem to remember this guy shooting some sharp flowers or something. Yeah, because he shot one at Land's face and it cut. Get it? Because it's sharp. Interesting. Denkin means thinking. He seems pretty on the ball. We will be fighting Denkin very soon as well. Lao Fen means going or running. She seems fast. She did teleport behind them. And Richter is like also maybe earthquake stuff because Richter scale, but also means judgment. So in German, does it mean like if you say Richter scale, it's kind of like saying like judgment scale, which is kind of like what a scale is doing anyway. Anyway, language stuff aside, it'll be interesting to see this guy fight as well, I guess. There's going to be a lot of fighting these next 2 episodes. That's my broad prediction. We have the exam guy, I'm going to say Geno, accurate or precise, that's what that means. And the second exam person is Sense or Sense, meaning scythe. We will see. We will see. Moving onwards, we have Moe Moe Kyun here. The OP and the whole arc is straight out of a shonen tournament. I was going to say something similar, but I resisted the urge. Next week, I'd recommend watching 2. I think it's a good stopping point compared to 1819. Fair enough. Carlgo, next comment here, apparently reminds them of Hunter x Hunter, which is one of their faves. No doubt it was heavily inspired by it. I have not seen any Hunter x Hunter, but from what I know, there is exam arcs, I think. Again, Hunter's just like a broad, like I'm a magic dude. I think that's what that is. So like, I can see the similarities for sure. Next couple comments from Sanlo Carnal here. The show introduces Yubel, a morally questionable character. My conscience and reason, goodbye. If evil, why hot? I don't know. Why are all these characters hot? I don't know. That's just what they do. And again, I'm not complaining. It's just, it's a bit of a difference this arc, I would say. Contradicting themselves, Solocano comes back through here with the kind of a little bit of a criticism, I guess. The openly sexual stuff, not always not always poo-pooing that kind of thing, but thinking that the Frieren Fern's chest thing is kind of weird. I don't know, man. If we were to write off every anime that had a big boob joke, then we'll be writing off like 97% of them. So like, I don't know. At a certain point, it turns into like, do I want to be like Western guys standing here telling Japanese creatives what they can and can't do? No. Do I also think that it wasn't probably the best part of the last couple episodes? Also true. I don't know. Just a bit of a balanced take there from me. Congo actually, interestingly, here has a reply. Frieren needed to look up because she was looking out for the flying beasts that become relevant later, right? She needs to be careful about the sky. Hence, she tried to look up, something was in her way, so then she moved and needed to look up in a different area. It's a nice connection, I like that. And this comment here from Aaron from the previous video, trying to hint towards Kane and Lawane without spoiling it. I assumed it was Frieren x Fern, which now that I think about it, bad touch, not good. Groomer Central, we don't like that. This makes a whole lot more sense. So again, like, are people going to be weird and defensive about this one being romantically involved versus this one? I don't know. Different strokes for different folks, but also I think it's a double standard. You're probably right here. I guess that comes from a majority male fandom. They don't like the boys getting together, but the girls getting together, that's fine. And then last comment here, just advising the double episode from Jeff Liu, backed up by Airwave 2K2. We'll see what we can do. What even happened last week? We're in like, I want to say tournament arc, but it's not. It's a oh my god, it's an exam arc. They're different, but with a lot of tournament-esque stuff. We're fighting over the one thing, and it's going to let us progress to the next stage. It's kind of tournamenty. Feels like a Survivor challenge almost, And we're in a position where Frieren has just got on a hold of one of the birds and is being pursued by, I believe it's Group 13, which is Denkin and Laufen and the other guy, Richter. There you go, I remember. And then we also have Fern's group, which is, I forget their number, but it's Yubel and Land in them, and they're being pursued by Werbel's group. So, Like, we will see what happens there. There is 2 fights currently going on. One's currently going on, one's about to start. I should clarify. But other than that, I think we're just going to jump right into episode 20. Now we're up to 20. That's a bit scary. But not without some chill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I can do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Love Discord, 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 Discord. Also check out that new Utena video. I thought it was really good, so check that out. Or just watch the show in your own time if you haven't. It's really good. Weird tangent aside, I think I'm going to bring up episode 20 and start watching it. I think that sounds like a good plan. Rightio, I've got up a picture of a lake, which I would imagine is episode 20 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Let me get a time code. 24 minutes and 29 seconds, not even 30. So sync up accordingly with that. There will be a picture-in-picture version in the description below, and using the subs please subset, so should be pretty similar to what everyone else has. And yeah, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Radio? 3, 2, 1, go. I'm recording. True. Tree fall. Another tree fall. These are the 2 evil blokes fighting. Okay. Yeah, what is this animation? What's going on here? Hello? Alright, that looked goofy as. Yeah, look at them eyes. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna bully the fuck out of that first scene when I come back. Yeah, no. And now we're back here. And we're back. Like, I don't know what that first scene was. Anyway. Oh, look at her. She's spamming. That's crazy. Does not care. Stone-faced killer. Oh. She's fucking dead? Fern woke up and said, it's time to murder. Like, I'm gonna murder, like, people today. Yeah, I think the less said about that opening sequence, the better. Anyway, they're allowed to have a couple moments of budget not being there, especially for a scene that does not seem that important in the grand scheme of things. It's about using your budget effectively, guys. I will say this must have been a stressful production. Like, holy shit. Also, this opening's like good, so kind of makes up for it. Still interested about those 2 elf kids. Still thinking about it. 2 queens over there too. Yeah, and a lot of this seems like it's playing out the fight that like we're seeing like right now. So I guess she's not fucking dead. That's good. Evil Frieren. Is that going to be like the final test or something? That'll be crazy. Necessary killing. Okay, maybe I wasn't wrong. What'd you call me? He caught her like a bird. How did he do that? Because he likes to kill. Well, that too. Alright, we need somebody to come in and help then. Well, there were more people around, so you could have gotten saved or whatever. Finally found a fight to the death? She's quick. Somebody please help the bird? Ooh, interesting. You're gathering information. I see. I agree. Well, I mean, in an ideal world, I would. You got me. That's me. I'm a pervert. Don't take that out of context. Okay, backstory. Good. We don't like demons. Oh, those aren't demons. That's pretty bad. We don't like that. Okay, they're both trying to out-edge each other. Also don't take that out of context. Edge as in edgy, as in edgelord. Not the other thing. Okay. So he does have a conscience. I don't believe you. There you go. Saved. Fern coming in clutch for the murderer. Well, yeah, she's good at that. Yeah, we had a whole arc about it. It was pretty good. Oh, okay. That explains that. I put her in a dumpster. I don't believe you, by the way, Fern. Oh, is that a condition? Well, shit. Okay, bye. Hmm, interesting. Time to murder. What do you mean by that? That is definitely sharp. I'll give you that. Yeah, it's like he was using flower petals before. Does this guy just fucking lie? Is that his ability? There you go. I thought he was using the petals. Okay, so he's that type. Nah, I'd win. Teleports behind you? Illusory power? Yeah. Okay. Now, is that a murder? I see. So the entire time you've almost been using this clone thing. Yeah, because it got everything she wanted out of the situation. It was a good lie. Yeah, Fern's broken. We've been through this. She's going to be very good. Ah, yeah, get shit on. Holy shit. Yeah, she's really good. You must carry me like the opening. No, not like that. There you go. We did it, chat. See, did he die? That's my question. Just went to sleep. I can't do it for everybody. Alright, you guys better find a bird. That's the next step. We keep bringing up this rain, man. It's, afternoon. Wait, so it ends when the sun goes down again? Okay. Well, you guys better find a bird. Well, I kind of need you two to be alive. Interesting. Interesting. I don't believe you. Okay. Little kid. Seems way older than 5 or 6 or whatever. Yeah, he's a big softy. And that's probably what the first half of the episode's trying to get across as well. What are we looking at? Bird. Bird. Do the bird thing. Now hide for 2 hours. Sometimes you just get lucky. Sup? Alright, we're back here. Is she waiting? Yeah, I see. Oh, damn. I needed that. So that's what I'm like. This is interesting. That is also very interesting. We're going like a Zen there. Or Sensei. Hmm. Interesting. What? Yeah. Whatever you say. Why are we even fighting now? You guys already got the bird. That's pretty brutal. Among Us? I don't know. There will be more story here, I'm sure of it. Gilbert. Oddly specific. Yeah, why didn't you just leave? Frieren. Oh yeah, I guess he is old enough. That's me. Not at all. Kinda. Okay, 7 foot tall Andy. I'll kill your kids. Now you're Mr. Earthbender, I think. I don't know. Maybe we should see. Ah, that guy looks sinister as fuck. Wise? Also wise. What do you mean? Siri? Okay. The One Piece is real? And she'll teach you one spell. Okay. Frieren's probably going to pick some bullshit. Some about flowers or something. Yeah, I know. How did he know that and you didn't know that? So it's time for me to murder. Who, Frieren? No, you won't. Barfland. Yeah, okay, he's Earthbender. Hence why he's like running around the side of the like a cliff face. Yeah, boomer fight, boomer fight, boomer fight. Let's go. And then that's our episode, is it? You guys were so right. This would be the worst video ever if I stop now. Um, not because the cliffhanger itself is particularly bad, mostly because I don't think there's all that much content in the episode. So much of it is centered around Werbel, right? Who I guess I just don't have the attachment to compared to again the main characters of the show. The title of the episode's very it encompasses the episode well though. Necessary killing. Like what constitutes a necessary kill versus not a necessary kill. And I guess we got that final bit of context, right? What a lot of these people are fighting for. It's beyond just a certification, it's the promise of a wish, which is a lot bigger. That can have wide-spanning motivations, let's say. They could be noble or they could be very unnoble, let's say. But again, I theorize that we will get to whatever this is like, I'm giving you a wish, and then we'll wish for some stupid bullshit. I think that's what's going to happen. Or something that'll seem like stupid bullshit, but will add emotional context later to make it work. I don't know. I don't know who'll win certification. This is Frieren. And yeah, I'm just going to watch that next episode now. I think that's the best way to do this. And I mean, I don't really even have that much to say about the first part. I kind of talked about a lot of it in the ED. Not that I won't go through it, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll bring up episode 21 now. And we'll watch that, I think. And here we are, episode 21 up there, ready to go. 24 minutes and 30 seconds. Sync up accordingly. Picture in picture. Subs, please. Let's just hit play. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Rain. But rain can't happen. See? Yeah. We have set up rain enough where rain will happen. Just remember rain. Also, Phlegm. Hello. Hello. Okay, this is interesting. What is this voice? I think I know the VA. I'll have to check. What's up? Any thoughts? Feelings? Anything? No, they'd faded away, but she stayed in the same spot. Okay. You're giving me nothing. You're giving me nothing to go off. Alright, it isn't Frieren's evil sister then. That's good. Seems like she's existed away from her for a longer time, maybe. I'm sure all will be revealed in time. Yeah, there's like some fucking Illuminati vibes here or some shit. I don't know about all these first class dorks. So my thing is that Denkin and co are way too interesting to be eliminated, I believe. Specifically Denkin. So do they keep their bird and then we find another one with some luck? I do not know. Okay, we're back. Please elevate the floor. Thank you, Earthbender. Earthbender? Earthbender. With a th. They just don't care. These two are freaks. I don't like these, like, Proctor guys. Oh, a fellow scholar. Tell me more. So this is Flam's master. Oh shit. How do you know that? I've got so many damn books. Okay. Smug. Oh, she said the line. Okay. Oddly specific. Interesting. Hence she will bring in a peaceful era. Then what is she trying to do now? Green elf. What is she trying to do? Okay. Leonade's doing something. Didn't work. He's wearing like 4 layers. You're gonna have to get frostier than that. Kane do something challenge. Impossible. Very hard difficulty. Okay, she did something. Where's my rain? Show me rain. I can't wait to see this guy lose, and lose bad. That'll be funny. Defense is good, by the way. Like in basically every tactical thing, defense is amazing. Not at all, but sure. Okay, but what about my rain? Bloodbender? I don't know. I don't know, he's just fun and smart. I don't know, I wouldn't imagine that anybody's gonna lose here. Look at Denken go. But I mean, that's Frieren, bro. She's pretty good. Walled Goose. Fire Tornado? Pretty cool. Damn, Frieren's dead. Yeah, he's cool. Are we going Zeri? Zeri? What? Frieren? I don't know, man. Maybe. Alright. Give me rain or give me death. This guy's throwing fucking sparkler bombs. Sup? Seems bad for my boy Denken. Hopefully he's not, like, murdered and dead and stuff. That'd be bad. No, he's okay. He's moving. See a trend? Of course there was. First class exists for a reason. Okay. Frieren kick. Frieren cock and ball torture? What's going on? Of course she is. There she is. Richter sucks. We hate that guy. No. Not the strategy. Alright, get bluffed. Like, literally, you're so dumb. Yeah, please tell me as well. Probably my wish. Or not. No, there was some other reason. It wasn't the wish. Okay, so you want to go home. Yo, Denken's cool. Yeah, okay. You will clearly pass this part of the test. I reckon you're going to pass, my friend. Richter won't kill anybody. Yeah. Give me rain. I've always said it. How can you see that far? Now it's time to murder. Any minute now, Frieren, with the rain would be helpful. Remember that one part in Last Airbender where like Katara stops all the rain in the air? I want it to be like that. That shit's so cool. Alright. Goodbye, barrier. Look over there. I feel like you guys are about to get humbled. What is this animation, too? That's sick. Whoa, I love the colors. This is very, Jujutsu Kaisen as well. They love a fucking barrier in that show. Yeah. I definitely recognize this voice. Okay. You have the rain. Oh, just an assist. Is she based? Alright. So he loses faith, and then you gain faith, which is a big part of it. I mean, that'll do. Alright. Time to die. I don't think that's going to work, my friend. Okay. Somebody save my boy Dankin, please. So he does not drown. Alright. Do you still have the bird? Head pats. Head pats for the both of ya. Ooh, look at his legs. What are you doing? Alright. Do we hide for 2 hours, chat? How about some luck? That'll also work. I don't know. Okay. We'll fight until the end. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I will. Oh, just plenty. Well, yeah, that's a great point as well. Yeah, Clone Boy. Who are these freaks? Hey, give us your bird. This is so lucky. Oh, hell no. Yeah, there's a conscience element to it. We're gonna bluff? I'm gonna punch you? That guy looks like a warrior. I wouldn't want to fight that guy on the right there. Chad? Hell yeah, he's cool. Go for the uppercut. Alright, awesome. Stop fighting. Alright, where's that sundown? Okay, all the characters that were named and had designs passed. I'm not going to imagine that's going to be the same for the next run through. But we will see. Cool. Okay, 18 dudes. 12 of them we know of. Cool. What are you doing, my boy? He's so lonely, bro. Is the cure to male loneliness drinking? Maybe. Yeah, of course the ground guy lost. He was up against an ice trainer and a water trainer. Like, so that's just some type chart stuff. Um, Other than that, I mean, it went about as I expected it to go. I think the stuff about the magic system is interesting, and of course, I'm interested in. I think we're going with Aziri, something like that. Um, Very interesting. Essentially, Flam's master. Very interested in that. Obviously, the carrot at the end of all this being a wish. How does that involve everybody else's character that's involved here right now? Again, our 12 named characters. What would they do with such a wish? I do not know. Um, yeah, I actually don't know. But again, Wish is a great storytelling device. It just lets you in on so much about motivation and stuff, right? And yeah, now it's going to be one a week for the foreseeable future, so cool beans. I'm imagining the bad stopping points aren't going to stop anytime soon. Maybe we'll do some slice of lifey stuff before jumping back into battle proper. I don't know. Okay. And yeah, jumping into a little bit of analysis on episodes 20 and 21. And we're back, episodes 20 and 21, and I have to say, with a few exceptions, pretty much across the board, this went about as I expected. I thought that we would fight for about 2 more episodes. I thought that we would finish up the first part of the 3-part exam, and I thought that everybody that was a named character would make it out. So everything that happened, happened. As soon as I learnt that you needed all 3 alive to pass, as soon as I remembered that fact, I'm like, well, everyone's making it out. At least every one of the groups we have has at least one member who has way more development to go. Whether it be Denkin for that one group, I'm sure that Ere and Werbel have something going on there that'll need to be explored further. And then, of course, our other 2 groups have both Frieren and Fern in them. And in the opening, we see Frieren and Fern facing off against some kind of elf, who I'm pretty sure is now Ziri. I'm going to get a voice actor for her very soon as well, who seems vitally important, hugely important, probably one of the most important people we introduced in the show in a while, in at least 10 or 15 episodes, right? Because Zion's important, but I would say that, like after Zion and that, it's probably her. At least characters in the modern day. And another elf that has spanned over time, if that makes any sense. I'm thinking of Frieren saying that she lost a battle against an elf as well. Are we going to continue that scene with Flem, potentially where Ciri becomes continually, I guess, unimpressed with Frieren and resorts to violence, right? So, the other thing that I wanted to say, right? What would I want to get a print? Ziri, one of the 2. Ziri, you know who I'm talking about. Green Elf. Flem said that she wouldn't know what to do with herself in a time of peace. So is this whole first class mage system and the system that she's perpetuating, right, and the association, right, is this all in an attempt to bring back combative mages, right? Mages that fight to the death. So there is more want for the destructive capabilities of spells and more ambition there and all these things that she personally aligns with. That is a theory. Has she set this entire thing up to disrupt said peace? It did happen about 50 years ago, we said. Peace has been reigning for about 80. It's time for some conflict. I think that's what she's thinking anyway. Again, what else would an elf do who is not overly sentimental about humans, almost reflecting Frieren at the start of the show, right? Like, what else would she do with her time? Would she mess with humans and try to get a rise out of them and try to have more conflict happen? It's like they're her playthings and she doesn't care about them on a personal level, right? Again, the antithesis of what the rest of the show, for its 21 episodes, has been building up about humans. I think that would be an interesting direction to go. I'm not saying we're doing it. I'm saying that a lot of the groundwork has been set to do it. So I would not be surprised if it happens. Now I'm going to get a VA. I'm going to do that now. Hang on. Okay, chat room. That is one Maria Ise, Hunter x Hunter character. Hello. Also, fucking Gojo, but not actually Gojo because it only says 2nd season. Weird. Am I fucking bugging? What does this mean? Because I thought Gojo was someone else. Is there like Kid Gojo in that 2nd season somewhere? Anyway, I digress. Couple of characters from other popular shonens. Fucking Stocking from Panty and Stocking. Based. Himeno from Chainsaw Man. That's another one that I've watched on the channel. Pretty cool. Made in Abyss guy. Sure. Some JoJo something. I'm yet to see what it would have been that I recognized them specifically from. So yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that, but sure, in the upcoming Uzumaki as well. I'm guessing it's maybe Promise Neverland. It's probably the most direct comparison. Seemingly plays these young boy characters a lot. Definitely has that voice. Yeah, it almost reminded me of some Megami Ogata work, but it obviously wasn't her. Very good VA, very good selection, right? A lot of pomp and circumstance to it, let's say. Anyway, back to the thing, otherwise I'll never get through it. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to pause and talk a lot about the scenes that I think matter. A lot of the rest of it is just kind of fighting and stuff. Oh, first let's look at this first scene, which is easily the worst animated thing in the show. Like this, what am I doing? What are we doing here, chat? Like, even that's not great. Look at the walking. And then the mouths here, and like minor movements only. No movement there, just the mouth flaps. That's a terrible shot. That too, just... And again, this is isolated. This is one scene at the start of the show. Definitely just like, oops, ran out of budget. This scene doesn't matter. Let's make it very quickly. I don't know what other reason there would be for this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't care. It's just kind of funny to look at, if that makes any sense, right? It's not going to detract from anything else going on, obviously. And then, yeah, straight out of that scene, and I think this looks pretty good, kind of Fern's attack on Ere here. Yeah, like, immediately the lighting's better, immediately the shadows are better, immediately the effects are on. Potentially it is unrealistic expectation to expect this level of quality across a 28 episode anime production. If One Dag Priority has taught me anything, it's that making anime is fucking hard. It's a fucking hard thing to do. So yeah, they're allowed to have their blemishes. Again, now that we know a little bit more context, looking at all this stuff and her like growing in power, and then Is this hair? Is hair putting her cape on her? And hair would only imply one other character, right? Interesting. And then this, right? So that looks very much like the room that she's in, and we're like facing off against her almost. Is this the final test? I do not know. So then we come back from the opening, and he said some stuff. He said like Sorganil or something, and that is a binding spell. It is a very powerful binding spell. It doesn't allow you to use any mana. It doesn't allow you to move. Basically, you can just do whatever you want with it. Like, it's broken almost, right? If he had this, why didn't he catch the Stile himself? We'll talk about it. It's a lot of this luck talk, I think, is involved, right? It's the same reason that he's unlucky enough to be in the situation he is outside of the test as well. Of course, if we're talking motivations for Werbel based on his small backstory that we see, right? Like wishing that there wasn't any conflict in the Northern Lands so that his love from a young age could return. Something like that. That would make sense to me. Having proved that he could bind Yubel then gets up and says, hey, if you could do that the whole time, why haven't you just killed me and taken the thing? You could have just done that. Why didn't you do that? And that's when she decides to strike. As we can see here, she is striking before getting eye contact made on her again and then being forced to be bound. We learned how the spell works. It's based on eyesight, right? If you're not looking at them, then it doesn't work. Interesting choice here to have as he's saying that, well, you could have killed me just then as well. He's turned away. We don't get to see his facial expression. There were people on the battlefield who did similar things, who just killed with impunity, right? They were all perverts who enjoyed killing. So instead of getting it over with, right, as fast as possible, which I've potentially had to do in the past, and I'm morally pretty good, I would say, right? He doesn't take joy in it, it's just part of what he has to do. That's the way that he approaches killing. In a different way, you have Yubel, who was a pervert who enjoyed killing. You know, evil. Maleficent, or whatever the translation was, right? Malevolent. She is bad. Upon learning this, Werbel decides it's a good idea to just kill her, walks up, puts his weapon to her neck. Yubel asks the question, have you killed women and children before? He thinks, oh, you're trying to buy time. Fine, I'll play along, making it seem like he's in control. When in reality, he's warming himself up to make a kill, because he's not ready yet. He needs to think about it. So what is this, the Northern Magic something? Northern Magic Corps are mercenaries who specialize in defeating demons, right? And he is the captain of that corps. However, we are still a private military organizations. Sometimes we get hired to do things, and sometimes we have to fight women and children because that's the only people that are willing to fight against us. It's a fiendish act to specifically send women and children to make us hesitate as well. But you know, it's tough, but we make it through it. Apparently, such brutality is commonplace in the north. And then, yeah, we still get this long pause here, right? Where he's still kind of warming himself up to make the kill. That's when Ubel says something actually pretty smart. I think the magic a person specializes in is strongly related to their life and nature. If you specialize in magic that is to capture, that is to bound people, and not to kill people, then that probably talks to your hesitancy to kill. This surprises you, Bell. Your hand's already drenched in blood, yet you still want to remain human. In contrast to me, who I don't know backstory, but I'm guessing you weren't always like this, but kind of leaned into it after a while. Something like that, right? You are now drenched in it. You revel in it, where you still want to escape and still want to retain some amount of humanity. That old adage, upon killing people, you lose your own humanity, right? It's playing out here in a pretty obvious way, I think. We don't get to see what Werbel would have done here, but he starts to warm up and says that I always make the kill. It just takes me a little while to warm up, but it always happens. And just in time, we have Fern to the rescue, jumping in, saving the day, saving her murderous little friend here. Of course, Werbel didn't detect her because she completely concealed her mana, which we've seen she's been doing before. We learn here how Fern and the group happened upon their first stele as well. They found a nest, they found a roost, and kind of she just snuck up on it, and she already had the spell that was the same one that Frieren had, which bounds birds. If that makes any sense. And they just got lucky. Seriously, in that similar way, Werbel has no luck. I'm thinking this applies to the rest of his life. He probably thinks of himself as unlucky considering the rest of his circumstances outside of the exam. It's probably reflecting a lot of that. Fern tells a little lie here. Basically, I think she knows the rules. She knows that if the full party members aren't present, then you don't get to pass regardless if you have the bird or not. So, therefore, if Fern says that she's killed Ere, it means that I no longer have to worry about this. It's no longer a necessary kill. What would make him think a kill is necessary? He's probably largely motivated by the wish factor, by the magic spell, whatever magic spell that he wants can be taught to him. I think that's where we're going with this. He walks away, Ubel goes to hit him with weapon. If you hit me in the back, you're just turning an unnecessary kill into a necessary one, implying that he could turn around and kill her whenever he wanted. Even though he continues to show hesitancy to do so, and as we see in the upcoming scene, he's just a big softie. So, we're unsure about this character. He seems nice, especially compared to you. And then we have Four Eyes. I don't even know what to tell you here. There's not much to say. I'm honestly going to skip through it. He has Clone. This is Clone. Hello, Clone. Clone is getting wrecked in his place. The other bloke, Sharp, I think his name is, which means sharp, has gotten a bunch of the alloys and metals out of the plant stuff, I think. He turned flower petals sharp, somehow, and he is using them as a weapon. However, the circumstances change when, you know, he appears behind you and grabs you by neck and does some kind of shocking spell. So it's not an illusion, it's more like a clone, as we say. There's a little bit more substance to it. I don't know if that implies some deeper stuff that we will learn about you and your origins and how this ability, especially the ethics around cloning, is affecting you. Am I essentially killing one of my own when this kind of thing happens, or what's happening there? We also learned that he says that you're not very good at detecting mana, are you? Which implies that you can tell where he is if you're good at detecting mana. So, Frieren Fern, they will not have trouble against such a foe, I think. Then we have Werbel happening upon Ere, and sees that, you know, she isn't dead, she's just out of mana. She needs an assist. She is worn out, but she is certainly not dead, which means we're still in this, right? We zoom out here and see the full effects of what Fern did to her. Fern's pretty powerful. Don't know if you knew. And then we get seen from the opening where he's going to piggyback her. I like that he initially goes for the magic that just kind of lifts her up like an object instead of getting all touchy-feely. See, he's just a big softy. Like, he did carry her in the end, and, you know, he's happy to do this kind of stuff. We play this for a joke here, with Shaft saying the exact same thing. Werbel, carry me on your back. Instead, he is treated like object. It is joke. We laugh at joke. It's funny. We hear the sound of rain, again reminding us that rain exists. It will become relevant, don't worry. It will in the end. The rain outside is a little bit of a reflection of Werbel's current mental state. He thinks we're going to fail. He thinks it's all hopeless. They've got about 2 or 3 hours to go until it's all over, and they haven't even seen a Stele except for the one that Fern's group had. So they're just very unlucky, right? And despite it being this dire, you're still helping us anyway. You're such a nice guy. Is that same kindness the reason you fight demons, right? So now we get into a little bit of the age gap stuff. So here is giant dude. Okay, we're fighting that dude. He is Werbel. He's got his wand. Pretty epic. He looks like an adult. At least in like his 20s or something, right? I think, right? And this is Ere, who is very young. So no longer I ship these two, because that is age gap, bad touch, I think. Maybe. I don't know, 2 consenting adults and all that. But I thought they were similar ages, but they are not, it seems. However, Werbel doesn't think of his, I guess, efforts saving Ere's hometown as particularly heroic. He thought it was self-motivated because of this small little love story he had with a girl from his hometown. And this was 29 years ago, right? So then we're talking timeline stuff. 29 years ago, you're like 5 here. I don't know, that means that you're 34. Where Ere, I'm imagining very similar age to Kane and Labone, right? Because they're just out of school. She seemingly is just out of school. Something like that, right? She graduated top of her class apparently as well. Must be kind of humbling, getting humbled by Fern like that, but I digress. And this plays out in a pretty rote way. I'm going to kill all the demons to make sure that you can come back home to me safe or whatever, right? Because I think the idea is the girl's family is fleeing because there's too many demons. And yeah, that makes her cry and smile and stuff. For a moment here, I thought we were implying that this girl here was somebody we knew already, but I don't think that is the case. I don't know. I don't know what this is besides a very, very rushed backstory for Werbel. Sure. He's a nice guy, he's a sweetie. Upon thinking all hope is lost, we're talking about travelling back via sea, Ere mentions a grandfather who's a first-class mage, one of the 40-odd that are in existence or something, so we can travel by land to blank. There is more story here that gets interrupted because we see that a Stele is still around. There it is. We finally got lucky for once in our lives, right? And essentially this is guaranteed that this group of people will progress to the next stage. And now we're over with Lao Fen and Frieren's group, and now we get to continue this little storyline. So Lao Fen was standing still for a very long time before using her ability again. It's essentially super speed or blinking or something. She can grab object and then teleport away. So grabbed the bird. The bird is important. The bird lets us pass test. And she just took it. Frieren's very nonchalant about the whole thing. It's always within her control, I feel. Yeah, sees the, I guess, magic that's in the air when it gets used, because she turns her head immediately to face where Lao Fen was when she used the spell. Yeah, this is interesting. This is something. Like, there is Bird here. Bird is very close to Proctor Guy, who is running this test. We have implied before that these birds are not close to people that have... They're sensitive to magical auras, right? And why is this one so close to our Proctor Guy when he is sipping? Is that because he's in perfect control of his magical aura, I guess? But then you see the bird fly away the second that... I believe you're Zense, something like that, right? The second she shows up, the one with the hair, are you less in control of that? Are you overwhelmingly magical to the point where you can't limit it? I don't know. There's something going on here. And she will be the proctor of the second test, so she needs to get ready for the next test, I guess. Zense. Let's say Zense. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Here's where we learn, I guess, the point of this particular test. It was never a find the bird challenge. It was or a magical detection challenge or any of that kind of stuff, right? It was essentially a luck-based challenge. Hence a battle masquerading as a competition, right? It's not about one of these people are going to get lucky eventually and find bird, and then they're going to fight each other, right? And that's the actual gist of what's going on here. It hasn't stopped particularly clever groups like Frieren manipulating the conditions to make sure that they don't have to kill people to find one, manipulating the luck so the probability's in their favor. But essentially it was planned from the start to be a battle, and no doubt battles are taking place. We see Denkin and Richter approaching Frieren here. Apparently Denkin will be among the people that pass. We are supremely confident in that. He has skill comparable to a first-class mage's. Power scaling time. Denkin has skill comparable to first-class mage's. He's probably the best contestant here. Frieren mogs him. Not close. So Frieren's automatically better than a lot of first-class mages already. It's just if she passes the tests. Again, we talked about this. Magic and Frieren being good at fighting people isn't always completely in line with her mana or her skill there, right? There's other factors at play. So what's Denkin doing challenging for this thing? Why does he care? Well, we explained it here, right? That the journey in finding the magic is more valuable than the magic itself sometimes, right? It's the chase, it's the hunt, rather than getting the one thing that you wanted the entire time. He probably agrees with Frieren on this subject. So, he doesn't even know about this wish business and doesn't care. He's just more involved with, he just wants to do it because he can do it. I don't know what this guy's deal is. And that's the point. I don't know what his deal is, so he has to stick around. Denkin continues to seem pretty smart, to the point where he knows who Frieren is. He's an old-timer. He would remember all the legends a little bit more fondly than all these kids that are doing this test, right? So he knows who this is and knows not to take her lightly. This is where the other two learn that she's famous as well, having not known that apparently. They didn't get to talking much. Then we have Richter. Richter kind of sucks. I'm happy that he lost. He just says that this is why we're doing this. I'm going to kill one of these kids. That's going to stop you. That'll stop you chasing us. No, you're not. You're not going to kill one of the kids. You look like a geography teacher. It's just not going to happen for you. Denkin says we shouldn't kill. Well, you're an old and crude guy. Then why? You've surely killed personal enemies before, political enemies. Yes, I have, but I simply don't believe being a first-class mage alone is worth killing someone. This is when we start to learn about the wish element. And here we get some lore. Okay, so there's a privilege with passing the exam and becoming a first-class mage. More than 50 years ago, the great mage and founder of the Continental Magic Association, Zeri, we're saying there, Zeri, there she is, green-haired elf. She is still searching for mages refined during the long war against the Demon King. So she promised to grant a spell privilege to anyone who achieved first class, right? So, cool. This is very powerful. You can get anything you want here. Now there's a motivator for most of the people to be wanting to do this, right? It's reminding me of something else. Again, it's like, I haven't watched much Dragon Ball, but I know there's a wish element to it. There must be something else that I'm thinking as well. All about a wish. I don't know. She's the closest we have to a goddess, which is kind of insane as well. You could acquire massive wealth, power, magic, anything you want, right? So then we have these first-class dorks that are already here, right? Like, they must have already gotten what they wanted. Was it these powers? I don't know. Does this mean that they're extremely powerful? Potentially. This guy looks like he has fucking wings. I don't know what that's about. And then we start to fight. Richter's going to put them to sleep instead of killing them. And yeah, he is Earthbender. He is going to, like, raise a platform. He's going to separate Frieren and Denkin from Kane and Lawane and the rest, right? Like, this is the point. This is their strategy. We're going to isolate Frieren, and we're going to isolate the two that don't know what they're doing as much, right? Our best versus their best versus our second best versus their two not so good ones. And then, yeah, I think we're out of the episode here. Yeah, and into the ED. I'll get the next one up shortly, which starts on the image of rain. if you didn't know, rain is going to come at some point during the ending of this and be a decisive factor. This just lets you know that barrier is important, right? Barrier important, barrier stop rain. Now we get to something way more important, which is this. Hello Phlegm, and hello Frieren. This is obviously very long ago. Hello. Says it's been a long time, Phlegm, but then turns her gaze over to Frieren and, yeah, I don't know. It has some feelings about it, I guess. I think what this shot here is meant to represent is that our person Zero, she's still in the same spot, right? After 1,000 years, where, you know, Frieren's gone off and done her own thing and kind of left and blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm remembering this one time I saw Frieren because I'm kind of almost seeing the battle take place right now, and I know that Frieren's around. Or at least she's got it on the mind. We did a bit of the Frieren thing where we play a very similar scene but reanimate it for not really much of a reason, but it still looked pretty good, so sure. Denkin calls out the young ones for being too hot-blooded, doesn't say it's much of a privilege, and says that instead the greatest joy of magic lies in searching for it, implying that he's not going to want to use whatever this wish type thing is, right? That's not why he's here. That's not why he's trying to become certified. And now that I think about it, we talk about why you want to become certified. I completely forgot about it. It's the whole family thing, right? You come from a hometown that is somewhere in the north, right? You cannot literally get through because you either don't have the money or you don't want to sail or any of the other ways you could get thrown. But anyway, he wants to be a first-class mage so he can go back to Grave and see Grave. Sounds very similar to Frieren, right? So, I don't know. I'm rooting for Denkin because of this, right? He's not in it for the power in the same way that some of the other younger, more ambitious characters in this little exam are. This reminds Frieren of something way, way, way in her past, right? Here we learn that Zire is Phlegm's master. The student I chose to train with on a whim has already returned with her own student. So she trained the best mage of all time that is almost a legend now, right? And then that person is training Frieren. And this is the first time these two characters have met, poo-pooing my evil sister idea, or relation, or any of that, childhood friend, or whatever it would have been, right? These two don't know each other. You're external, right? Also, your hair's less green and more blonde there, but anyway, I digress. Immediately looks at her, immediately says that Frieren is strong, immediately tries to offer Frieren book. And we know Frieren likes books, but she likes searching for them on her own. Not just the most powerful spell, give it to me. Frieren instead parrots the line that we just heard Denkin say, the greatest joy of magic lies in searching for it, it's the journey, not the destination. Which again, it's the moral of the show. Again, it wasn't about defeating the Demon King, it was about making the relationships with Himmel and Hytha and Eisen along the way, and Frieren coming to this discovery. Phlegm, this girl is no good after all, but however Phlegm backs us up by saying, nah, this is the mindset we need if we want to bring peace. Because of the lack of burning ambition that she has, she will clear the way to a peaceful era. Are you saying that I cannot? As one that seeks battle, you cannot kill the Demon King. Is this your inherent nature? Is this the setup around the first-class mages that are seemingly kind of morally dubious? Again, I've talked about it, and I'm not going to repeat myself. That's my theory at the moment. Frieren here gains some kind of respect for Denkin, says that that's a good answer, that's how mages should be, contrasted with these younger, hot-headed mages that are, like, killing each other. This stuff isn't overly interesting, we just kind of fight for a bit. There's the mechanic stuff that's kind of fun, I guess, right? The styles of magic and our protective spells. The whole time, Richter's kind of condescending, so we just hate him because we like our two girls. We imply that he's going to wear himself out with all these flashy spells, and we start to talk about magical barriers and defensive battles of attrition. Now, purely tactically, across many, many different sports and games and that kind of thing, defense wins out. Defense is fucking amazing. Not getting hurt, pretty good. I'm going to continue to tell you that. We do a bit of a history lesson here. Because it's defensive magic, it needs to be quicker, right? You need to be able to use it on a whim instead of crafting it to perfection. Too complex, can't cast it quick enough, you're already dead, right? Because of that, it hasn't changed much since its inception. It's very good at magical attacks, blocking magical attacks. That's why there's a recent trend involving controlling physical objects because they're harder to block. Do you catch what I'm saying? Here is very quickly casted physical object known as rock and knocks them up into the air and knocks them out. They can't have a protective spell out quick enough. He continues to be condescending, but they want to fight on. We try to bluff him by saying that 60% of the human body is made of water. I honestly thought it was more than that, but sure. Are you just making up a statistic? 69% of all statistics are made up. I thought we were going to do some bloodbending shit, but apparently this is where we explain the imagination side of the magic. If you can't imagine something happening, if you don't believe that you can do it, then the magic won't happen as well. Almost in a very fairy tale-y way. If you don't believe, then it doesn't happen. Some Peter Pan-ass shit. This will become his comeuppance by the end of the episode because he can't imagine himself beating a water mage and an ice mage in a rainy setting. It leads to his downfall and leads to his nervousness and I don't know, a lot of things, right? If you believe it, then it will happen, manifesting, that kind of thing. And then I don't know about a strategy here from Kane and Lawane. They're kind of like, you're a pussy because you can't beat us because there's no water here. You separated us from what makes us good, and then you beat us. Boo, you suck. Where I'm just thinking, I don't know, that just seems tactically sound, not giving them an advantage. Are they attacking his ego a little bit here, maybe? It's not a bad strategy. However, he's just going to do his job, put the two to sleep, as long as Denkin doesn't lose, that is. And now we see epic aerial battle between Denkin and Frieren. At this rate, he's going to run out of mana, so he needs to go for some kind of finalistic attack, right? Go all out before he's all out of mana. He basically casts Tornado and then Firestorm and then traps her in the Fire Tornado for a bit. We get a crucial bit of context here from the Proctors as well. It doesn't matter how powerful the magic is, this looks extremely flashy, right? The barrier won't break. It was created by a great mage, Zire, so it's not going to break. It just can't break. She's too good. This only exists because a barrier is going to break. That's how storytelling works. However, somebody's been analyzing the barrier since late last evening. It's been Frieren. So even as she's blocking the most powerful attack we've seen during this arc so far, she's still analyzing the thing. She's multitasking. Again, power scaling. These people are nothing to her. We see here, kind of based off our magical barrier talk before, she's kind of cast one all around herself. This is a magical attack. It's not going to pierce the barrier very well. He goes for another attack. It seems like it's overwhelming Frieren, but instead she counterattacks very quickly and takes him out. Look at him, he's dead. And yeah, he's out of mana, right? So this is the end, and now we're going to use him as a little bit of bait. And yeah, he's been humbled here a little bit, which is a good look for him, I guess. It's good that he can realize when he's beaten. So Frieren enacts her plan here, knows that Lao Fen is nearby, knows that she's a little bit green, let's say, knows how to manipulate her. I'm going to kill Denkin if you don't save him, right? And yeah, Denkin, of course, is like, don't do it. She's not going to kill anybody. We literally just had a talk about this, about not killing over some title. However, she's increasingly nervous. A little bit of a sweat drop there. Don't use the Jill Ware. Don't use anything. Just make sure you're not seen. Again, Frieren is baiting. From this distance, I could retrieve the old man and flee. And yeah, that forces her to act, and then got her. You're not overly smart, but I guess you bring up a good point when you say later on that Frieren said that she wouldn't kill you, but that doesn't mean she won't injure you, like a lot. So maybe she would have, maybe she wouldn't have. Or maybe she played the bluff to perfection and got what she wanted as a result. Yeah, so she ended up getting a bird back. I don't know what this barrier is. I don't know. Anyway, because I thought you only had one of those for birds. Anyway, I digress. She got her bird back. This is when Lao Fen asks the question, why are you so desperate to become a first-class mage? You've got wealth, influence, and everything else you could possibly want. Why would you want something even more, right? Why would you want the first-class thing? Especially considering you didn't know about the wish component. So Denkin has homeland in the plateau. Demons acting up. Can't enter area. I want to go back to grave. I instantly like Denkin 100 times more. He's essentially trying to do a Frieren-esque story and is being stopped by this kind of rule that first-class mages only able to enter a certain area. You know what I mean. Denkin tries to get a final shot in by saying Richter will kill them before he even faces you, so this was all for naught, you can't pass, you won't have your group with you, blah 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 blah. Then barrier, we're going to do barrier stuff. Richter continues to beat them up and beat them up and beat them up, But now we know that reinforcements are on the way. Here we go. Here's Frieren analyzing the barrier. Also, I guess I should say that kind of Richter's changed to I'm actually going to kill you two now, not trying to put you to sleep. And now we have the best animated sequence over the 2 episodes, kind of her taking down the barrier, right? Let's say. This guy continues to be a hater, continues to be a non-believer, but he is proven incorrect. I love these effects. They're fantastic. It's very simple. It's just a photo negative on it, but but it just looks cool. Nice inverted stuff. This spreads out to an interesting color scape over the barrier as it's going to break. And yeah, it does break like that. Pretty cool. And then yeah, we're immediately interested in who this mage is. Her name's Frieren. She's important. Apparently she had a holy emblem with her. That was the thing that she showed the old guy before as well. She is the last great mage because of this, right? These things that she was holding was very important. This has alerted Zero to Frieren's presence, right? This is why I can't quit being a mage, because stuff like this still surprises me. Frieren has returned to me hundreds and hundreds of years after whatever else happened, right? She's still here and still very good. Why did you do that, Frieren? I felt sorry for Kane, right? Magic is a world of imagination. Can you imagine defeating a mage who controls water and the rain? No, I can't. Even Frieren can't, right? It makes them almost like unbeatably powerful. Again, if we're keeping up our Pokemon metaphor, try to play any serious rain team and you run into some trouble pretty quickly. Certain Pokemon are just really good in the rain. And as I said before, we've got Ice Trainer and Water Trainer against Ground type Trainer. It becomes not particularly close. Look at that, there's already big water above him, as we learnt before. Bring in, I guess, all the elements of this conversation. We have a physical presence against a magical barrier. It's no longer going to hold. And we have the idea of imagination. We're now inspired, both Kane and Lawane, right? So we're able to beat you. You cannot fathom a way that you can win, and you are defeated. I think that's what we're getting at here. This is pretty good for a climactic moment for these two, but I hope there's more. I hope there's more of these characters. And yeah, now Frieren shows up, says thanks, gives them head pats. We need to get away from here. It's time to basically skedaddle. We're going to hide for 2 hours. I'm still questioning this leg placement from from Denkin. Did he grab him from the current maybe and held him in place? Maybe he's being nice like that, I don't know. So both Denkin and Richter are out of mana. It's up to Lao Fen to do something. She can't break this part, but she can break down the tree. But this results in the 3 of them having literally no mana to go. What are they going to do now? At this point, I'm like, Denkin's clearly sticking around. He's too nice. He's too noble. He's got too much going on for him to lose now. So what's going to happen? Are they just going to get lucky? Is that going to be like very similar to Werbel? But luck was attached to Werbel as a character a little bit more. So what are we going to do? He basically said we're going to fight to the end. We're never going to back down. He's pretty based like that. Now we drop over to Fern and Ubel and stuff. This is essentially comedic relief, right? We call Fern boring. I learned it from Frieren. Frieren's the one that's been messing with everything. Are we going to scold her for it? Yes, we are. We start to ask Fern what other spells she knows besides the basic combat ones that she's aware of. We bring up the spell that has been referenced a number of times now that allows us to look through people's clothes. Much to, if I can grab it. Yeah, there we go. Much to Ubel's disgust. And Land brings up a good point here. You shouldn't be showing everybody too much of everything else that's going on. There's a large chance that our next test will be 1v1v1. So, like, survival of the fittest. Don't show all the tricks in the bag. And yeah, I think this shot here, he's got more going on. I'm sure of it. So he's probably hiding shit. He's being almost purposely too plain. There's more going on there. So here we have a defeated party. They have Bird, but they don't have one of their party members, hence they can't progress. But they're not going to give up the Bird because of the pride of it all, because they lost a party member, because in their memory, because we're going to continue to try. All these reasons, right? And Denkin realizes this. If I was in their position, I'd refuse everything, even a monetary sum, because of their pride. It's wounded at the moment. It's illogical. but they're going to continue to do it, right? As a result, we're getting Denkin and Richter to approach head on. It's essentially a 2v2. We don't have any mana, they don't have any mana. And yeah, Denkin's just cool. I'm going to fist fight you because I'm based. It also speaks to how much Denkin really wants to become first class. He's going to fight to the end. He's going to fight with his fists if he has to. He's not going to just give up here. The ultimate ending of our magical attacks versus physical attacks sub-theme in the episode as well, I believe. And yeah, he's based. This is just, that's perfection. I like that. And then yeah, this is very epilogue-y. We see these two still fighting though, which is fun. Basically all this is meant to do, or meant to get across, is that there'll be a few red shirty dudes, but mostly our main characters, our named characters, got through. We have 6 groups of 3 making it, this being one of the stragglers, as well as this one. I'm sure they will have some time to shine in some respects. These guys look like they're just killed. That's something. You look like you're more interesting than the average bear. But I'm pretty sure it's just all going to be our named characters that are important. So yeah, they will be informed of the next part of the test shortly. Frieren and Fern give each other a small smile here. Yay, we both made it. We end the episode with Stark drowning his sorrows at the bar. I don't know, man. You kind of got shafted these 2 episodes, or 4 episodes now that I think about it. I'm missing my boy. I want to see some Stark content, if not just to see him and Fern again. But I digress. That's where we're ending, because we jumped straight into the ending there. So yeah, these 2 episodes were pretty good. Production wasn't always there completely, but it was there enough that I didn't really mind. What else did I want to say? All the stuff around the battle and all the motivation stuff is pretty interesting. I saw 2 pretty clear lines with some characters. Like Werbel is clearly involved with luck in some way, and some element of duty, and some element of wanting to retain his humanity whilst living in such a monstrous setting. Cool, that's great, I like that. Denkin's super interesting. I love his journey, not destination mindset, very similar to Frieren's. He's obviously got this noble goal. And then, of course, the overall conceit of what we have going on. We learned that there's a wish element. We learned some origin stuff for Sire as well, so we're going to watch for that. That is important. There will be content there. I wonder what Fern will think of all this wish business as well, because I'm not sure everybody knows in the same way that that Richter did. Interesting. We'll watch out for it. There's more to glean from these current first-class magicians as well. Mages, I guess. Magicians are like pull a rabbit out of a hat. Mages like magic. I don't know. Words are weird. There's more to learn there. They're clearly important, especially Hair Lady. I think I spotted it. Was her hair putting on her cape? I don't know. I think there's some kind of grander scheme going on as well that we will discover. All will be revealed. And now we're going to watch 1 a week from now on in, which makes me kind of sad. But other than that, I'm going to catch you guys next week. And yeah, the show continues to be good. I will continue to say that. Show stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, love Discord, Discord. And yeah, we'll be back next week for more Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I'll see you then. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later. Have a good day. Cheerio. And I'll wave. Goodbye.